that was one of the first bills you put in.
Right.
So what's happening?
We know that property taxes are an incredibly unfair tax. Taxes are supposed to be about economic activity. And you living in your house and the auditor coming around and saying that your house is worth more, you shouldn't be taxed more for that. And we have people being taxed out of their homes on fixed incomes. And so we need to step in. The difficult part is that the state does not collect property taxes. It's our local entities. So whether that's school boards or developmental or county or whatever, those are the ones getting property taxes. It's not something the state. However, we have been working to create ways that seniors can live in their home better, as well as create transparency in the levy process. I introduced a bill to double the homestead exemption so that those that have been living in their homes and are on fixed incomes don't have to pay as much taxes, and hopefully, and some may not even have to pay any, so that they can continue to live in the home where they've created their family memories. And right now with the interest rates, people can't even afford to downsize to move from one house to another. Another bill I have, House Bill 344, simplifies it so that when people go and they're voting, they know if they're raising their taxes or not.
Right.
There's levies that are called renewals or replacements. And do you know the difference between a renewal and a replacement?
I was trying, no. Tell me.
Which is great. And so a renewal means that the taxing entity gets the same amount of money as they were getting. So if they were budgeted to get $20 million from the area, they do a renewal and they get their $20 million again. And you continue paying the same amount out of your escrow, out of your mortgage, out of your taxes. A replacement levy, though, sounds like it's the same, but what it does is looks at whatever percentage of your house you were paying before when it passed the first time, and then as your value of your house has increased, the percentage of the value has decreased, so it resets it back to that. So if you had a $200,000 house and you were paying $500 on that, and your house becomes $400,000, you should still be paying $500. If someone told me your taxes aren't going to go up, you would still expect to be paying $500. But a replacement levy, you'd be paying $1,000 now. Because the value doubled. And so your taxes double. And we have a bill to get rid of that because it's very difficult to explain on an individual basis how that affects you, because if you bought a $100,000 house 20 years ago or a $100,000 house 5 years ago, what it's valued now is totally different, so you can't put that on a ballot. We want this transparency so that the communities that need their taxes ask for them, and people have that representation so that they can decide whether or not that their taxes go up.
Warren County is due for an appraisal this year, and I know the counties around us, last year people were surprised with very big tax increases. And you really can't get an answer what your appraisal is going to be. Because I read, if this is right, it's the state taxation that kind of puts what the appraisal rate should be. Is that correct?
Our county auditor does the first one, and then there can be an appealable amount up to the state as well. So it is between the county and the state on what the appraisal qualifications are and what the final number is.
So, a lot of us next year, well, probably in October, they said we'll be getting our new bills.
And I really think, as I said before, property taxes are a very difficult, nasty tax because they function almost as a capital gains tax, where you on paper, you've had an increase of wealth, but you don't realize it until you move. And your house value may go up, but it's still the same old house, and now you're taxing more.
And you can't maybe, like you said, afford to live in your house.
Right.
Value all of a sudden went up, and you're like, I can't live
here.
And I don't know, we'll talk. The school tax, that was considered unconstitutional, the way we budget or we make money for our schools. Is the state legislation looking at doing any changes on that?
So we have we got past that ruling. There was one funding plan that was deemed unconstitutional. Every time ever since has been fine. And we are now 2/3 of the way through the Fair School Funding Plan, which has been able to get huge support, been able to fully fund, and now our starting teacher pay is the highest it's ever been. So we're able to get that so that our students can work and our students can be prepared for the next generation and be able to provide for themselves and find purpose.
Because I totally believe in education. I have 3 that are teachers, a husband that's a retired teacher. But when you look at your property taxes, like 76% of our property taxes going to the school right now. That's a lot of that's a lot of money.
That's a lot, and I think if we as a state can continue to bolster that so that we're not putting the taxes on people that can't afford it, that's what we need to be doing.
So, again, thanks for stopping by.
Absolutely.